Hello and welcome to another flower reading from the Rainbow Beach workshop that we held. This is another one for health goal, this one is. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually apologise to this lady because she's booked in to do one of our online courses. I'm having trouble with the website. This has taken so long to come on. So I'm having a little bit of trouble with the website. You will be booked in. Just please be patient. The webmaster is now working on it and trying to get it sorted. So I do apologise for that. But let's get your reading done and we'll compensate you, don't worry. So here is this beautiful flower image. Now, when we first start off with the flower image, we do go through the portrait and landscape, what does that mean? And with this particular flower artwork, hang on, I'll just move it over a little bit so I am not sort of going backwards and forwards. That's better. So with this particular artwork, it is in a portrait manner, so it is all about her. Sometimes we have them in a landscape and it is more about the community, more about her connection with the community. But this one is definitely all about her, and it is a health goal. So being a health goal, we do find that it is more about you. However, it can be about the environment, and this one is a little bit about the environment, which I'll go through in a minute. So the other thing I look at straight away with this one is the persona. Now, the persona is the first feeling we get with the image. This is what she is putting out to the world, and this is what her intuition is telling her that she's putting it out into the world. And when we look at this, we look at that her whole persona in her health aspect is that everything's rosy. Like it looks beautiful. Like it's the perfect bunch of flowers. It's got the mixture of these beautiful blues and yellows and the shapes, and such a lovely, lovely contrast. So we've got so many things happening there. When we look at that, as far as your goal goes and your persona goes, wow, mate, you've got it all together. It looks like you've got it all together. But that's your persona. That's what you're putting out. That's what your intuition is saying. You're putting out to the world that everything is honky-dory. But I have to question the fact that it is a bunch of flowers. And a bunch of flowers means they've been picked. They have limited time to shine. So that's where we start to go, okay, this is about a health goal. And when we say limited time, we've got time to get this goal happening, and we can make the most of it and get it all together by seeing what our intuition is saying. And it's also got a time frame. You're not going to be in this situation forever. That's the positive side of it. You're going to get through all this, get through this side of things, and it is going to be different. So that's what I really like. It's like a bunch of flowers, and I've got a bunch here. Starting to look a little bit sad now, but I've got a bunch here, and it's like it brings you this beautiful, for a week or two, you have this beautiful aroma in the house. You have this uplifting feeling. You have this ability to sort of, I don't know, push aside all the negatives and see the positives for what it is. That's what this health flower is all about. Yes, it's only for a limited time. You've only got this problem for a limited time, and then it all goes away. It is all done. You've achieved what you need to achieve, and you move forward. Now, as challenging as it may seem, and I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if this is about the lady, but this is what the intuition is saying. So when we look at this, we sort of go, okay, so there is a time frame with this one. Most other flowers, the flowers that I've read before, there isn't a time frame. This has got a time frame on it. So let's be mindful of that time frame, and let's start getting to the nitty-gritty so we can get this sorted and move forward to create the happiness that we want. The other thing, again, a bunch of what a bunch of flower does, it really is uplifting. And while we have that beautiful uplifting feeling, let's get the most of it, because while we're thinking positive, while we're feeling positive, you're going to get a lot more out of it than if you sort of go into the doom and gloom of it all. So with that in mind, let's go a little bit further, and we start to look at the journey and the journey or the path to these goals. Now, the thing is with this health goal, so that was the persona side of it, but the thing is with this health goal is the fact that I don't know where I was going then. Sorry, lost track. Because it was the persona, that's what you're putting out, so people believe in that side of it. There is another aspect to it, and yeah, that's where we're going to it. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so when we start to look at these goals, okay, so we're talking about a health goal, but we're not talking about an individual aspect. We've got all these different types, and they're all very, very different. We have different colors, we have different shapes, we have different aspects of them. This one's got a really strong heart center. This looks like a closed rose, so it's got a heart, but it's not open. This one is more like almost like a daffodil, maybe not a daffodil, but it's got that beautiful open center. You know, you can see that the center of it, the stamens and that all coming out. So we've got all these different aspects. So what I would be feeling that your intuition is telling you is that the health aspect you're talking about, or if you've got a health aspect there that you're dealing with, it's not single. It is, there's lots of little goals there that you've got to achieve, or you can achieve to get to your health, true health aspect where you want to be, or your happiness health. Oh, that sounds good, happiness health. So we have got different types of things. Now, this particular goal here is very round, very feminine. So I would be putting that down to feminine aspects, these two here. So one could be period, one could be, you know, things that are related to the aspect side of it, hormonal, you know, different things like that. So there's different areas there that you're going to be needing to look at. This beautiful big purple one here, purple and blue one, to me, that's all about the colours, communication, and your spirituality. So this is a really, really strong one. We need to be mindful of your mindset. It could be your thoughts. It could be your emotions. It's all these different things. And when we start to go through this too, we can go through the colours with, I'm going into the colours, sorry, I jumped in ahead. We can go through the colours almost in the chakra colours as well. So you sort of think of orange is more about the community, people around you. What does that look like? What's that all about? It's the environment. Yellow is more about yourself, you know, your mindset. How do you feel about yourself? What are those thoughts about you that you're thinking? The pink, which is probably more, green's more of the heart center, but you could put that down as red and go into the base. Have you got roof over your head? Have you got finances coming in? You know, that sort of aspect of it. The base is the security side of it, the real physical security side of it. Green is heart. So we're going through all these different elements and different levels there, so we can really focus on those. But what I see this mainly as with your health aspect, your happiness health, is that your happiness to you, the health and your happiness is all about having that bunch of flowers, that beautiful array of uplifting, in lovely scented, lovely looking flowers. I mean, who doesn't love a bunch of flowers? That's what your heart, that's what your intuition is saying is your happiness health. It's when you've got all of these flourishing all at once, and all those different elements of health, because health isn't just one thing. We've got mental health, we've got spiritual health, we've got emotional health, we've got physical health, we've got environmental health. We've got all sorts of health aspects, and I can see that there. You need to have all of them to be having that overall happiness health. You need to be looking at all those different aspects. Whatever those aspects are to you, that's what you need to be looking at. Now, can you get to those goals? What's the path like? What's your path or your journey like to get there? And we look at that and we go, wow, the stems are very, very strong. You are on the right track. Whatever you're doing now, you are on the right track. They are quite long, and there's lots of them. So I could imagine if you were trying to reach this goal, you know, you've got a little background there to reach that goal. So that's going to be a longer journey. It's going to take a bit more, but they're all strong enough. Even this little one here, this doesn't go all the way. This little goal here is going to pop out later on. It's going to be, oh, I've got to do that as well. That's going to pop out later on. So that's another little one that's coming through. That's more external, more community orientated. Okay. But yeah, I mean, it could be this one here, but it just seems like it's going to pop out later on. So when we look at your path and your journey, they're strong enough. They definitely can do that. There's not a problem with that. You've got it there. Probably because of the amount of them, they are going to take a little bit longer than, say, if you had one flower, one goal, that you're going directly there. Because you've got so many that you're trying to address all at once, it's going to take a little bit longer. Be patient. You can do this. It says you can do this. It's just there. And I just see these beautiful array of flowers. You know what? When you get there, buy yourself the biggest bunch of flowers you can find, because that is what this is symbolizing. It is beautiful. So path journey, yes, we can get there. We look at the leaves. Now, the leaves are our guides. When we talk about leaves, we can have them on a future aspect, so people we're still going to meet, or there is the past aspect, people that we know that are helping us go forward. These are our guides. Now, we can look at anything down low as physical. As we get halfway up the page, we start to look at a more emotional mindset, and then right at the top of the page, we go into the spiritual guides. Now, with yours, they're all underneath it. We're all looking at more. In fact, I would say more mindset and more emotional rather than the actual physical. So that's where I would go with these ones. And when we look at them, a lot of them are round. See these beautiful round? I believe that they're leaves, these round leaves. And round obviously is feminine. There's lots and lots of them. I would be saying you need to be in groups where there's lots of females. So join up with Facebook groups where they're females that are like-minded, and start to connect with other females, I shouldn't say females, feminine behaviours, people that display strong feminine behaviours. Okay, so if it's a male, one of the feminine behaviours that he needs to be able to display is that he can do active listening well. He can hear what you're saying. He can relate to it. He doesn't need to fix it. Like men like to fix it. He doesn't need to fix it. He just needs to hear what you're saying. And that's what all these beautiful leaves going up here, they're all about female or feminine behaviors being able to help you and guide you. So I don't know if there's a health issue. I don't know what it's all about or anything else, but I would say, because they're two very distinct. I know when my sister lost her baby, she joined up on a Facebook group for premature babies and women that had lost their babies, so she could talk to somebody that was going through some of the stuff that she was going through. Now, these groups aren't always they can be at a negative aspect too. They can sort of be sitting there and wallowing in some of the stuff, but there's going to be people in there that is going to suit who you are and your personality and how they can help you. And to be honest, they're helping you, but in the same token, you're helping them. So when we get onto those groups and we start to give support and everything else, we're supporting them and they're supporting you. So you're getting this two-way aspect. Again, be mindful of the group it is. And if it doesn't suit you, move, get another one. It's a Facebook group, for goodness sake. We don't have to be there by law. It's not like a given. I can see you in two very strong groups, okay? There's two areas there that either it's a local group for you, but when we look at where the flowers are, I'd say it's more of a mindset, emotional support that you need for this. And so you could get that online. So that's one area there. Now, for the individual aspects, and I would love for you to go through and name some of these as health aspects that you're wanting, just sort of go, well, okay, this is my mindset here. This is my mindset one. This is my hormonal one. This is and just name a couple of them. This is my grounding one. Oh, this one would be a good grounding one. This is where I need to be in nature. This is my grounding one. Or just get an understanding. This is my intellectual one. I need to have the right thoughts, the right aspects, the right learnings. Get an understanding of exactly what those flower images or those flowers mean to you as far as a goal goes, and you can start to really narrow down what you want and what you need to go. And this is what your intuition is telling you. It's not me telling you, it's your intuition saying this, to do that. So when you start to work out what sort of goals they are, and you can change them, there's no rules to this, you will find that you'll get these little different guidance. So this is an overall guidance, but you'll get these little ones that will help you just on that particular goal. Okay, so with this particular goal here, just a pretty little, it just looks, it's so pretty. I love your artwork, honestly. I'm very envious. This is so pretty. There's no heart center to it. It doesn't, it's just almost like an orange hibiscus. No, sorry, an orange frangipani. What am I talking about? Orange frangipani. It's so pretty. But anyway, you've got 4 guides on that one. So when this one pops up, you might have something a little bit earlier if this is attached to that. But when this one pops up, you can have 4 guides really quickly, and they're going to be right with each other. So you're going to get somebody from the past and someone from the future, or somebody you already know and somebody you just met, and they're going to be saying almost the same thing. They're so in line with each other. All right, so that's where we see this in line. There we see them in line with each other, so they're giving you similar advice, and you're starting to go, okay, or I've heard that once there and I've heard it once there, maybe I should be looking at that. That's what you're going to get there, and that's where that will go in that aspect. And these are more masculine. Okay, so we've got these overall feminine helping you in the whole outside of your health goal. But inside for the individual goals, you've got more of a masculine one. So where these are sort of giving you these lovely feel goods on the outside and nurturing you and helping you, these other little ones are going, do this. You've got to do this. Or have you thought of doing that? And start to sort of go, well, really narrow down what it is you need to do. More assertive, more punchy. Let's do it. So they're coming up through for each of your individual goals. So that's what we're looking at in there. So again, that's that. We're up to the flowers, the petals of attraction. And again, you've got so many different aspects. When you know which ones are which, when you have that understanding, you'll be able to go in a little bit deeper. Now, when you're trying to read petals, we can see that these petals here, these are love heart shaped petals, by the way. How cool is that? 4 very strong love heart shaped petals there. These are more elongated, right? So more of the masculine. Now these are the challenging ones. Okay, that's probably more feminine. I'd go more feminine with those little round ones. These are quite challenging because the concept is actually round. So the concept is very, very feminine. That's why I said it's a feminine goal in that aspect. So the concept is feminine. However, we've got like lines. They're not really petals. They're not as elongated as that. They're more of a blend between the two. So they're masculine in that are a line. They're not a round, but then we come into the round side to it. So with that, I'd love to say it's somebody that's very, very... Okay, this is how I would see this. I would see that as like, say, a gynecologist. That's how I would see that. So a gynecologist is all about female issues, health issues, girl stuff, babies, all that sort of stuff, okay? I'd see that as almost like a gynecologist, but then a male gynecologist. So you've got this masculine aspect engulfing this feminine concept. So, and it's really strange because even I've not long gone to a male gynecologist, and it just it's a bit weird. It's like, how do you know more about female bodies than what we know about female bodies? But he's a gynecologist. He's learnt it. He's studied it. He understands it. I get that side of it. I just don't want a boy down there I don't want a boy down there that's not my boy. So you've got these dueling aspects of it. It's so strongly female, yet so masculine, and yet these are lines, but they're round lines, they're soft lines. So that's how I see that. It's more of that sort of side to it. That more of that gynecology side. That's sort of what comes up for me. And that's like this. Look, this is, to me, this is your big one. This is your main one. It's beautiful, this one. It's got the beautiful heart-shaped flowers, petals, and it really is attracting love. That's your main aspect on that one. Attracting love. It's got the mauve in it, so it's very spiritual, very deep. It's got the deep blue, and it's an indigo blue. So too, with third eye chakra, we're going into that side of it. So very, very spiritual, very, very connected there. Love and spiritual connection. To me, that is one of your biggest goals. And when we look at your heart center here, the heart is definitely the indigo blue. And we have these little, like, what I used to call landing strips. So we might be attracting that love and that communication and the spirituality, but we really bring them in through that third eye chakra, through that indigo color. So we really, once they get closer, they can see where we need to go, and they'll bring it in there. Now, as far as the health aspect goes on that, I go straight to meditation, visualization. Absolutely visualization with this one, because it's third eye chakra. You need to visualize to really, really get there. When we're talking about health visualization, funnily enough, I'm actually going to put one up on the podcast. That was my next podcast, is about intuition and visualizing the health aspect. So one of the ways that I used to do that was you'd go into your body and you would do the healing yourself. Now, it's all part of the visualization. When we're seeing the images that we're seeing, and our images, we know people say, oh, it's just my imagination. Well, guess where your imagination comes from? It comes from your spirit. You cannot imagine it unless you have actually experienced it. And your spirit has experienced it in lifetimes, different lifetimes. So your imagination can come from there. The intellect comes from the physical body. The imagination comes from the spiritual body. So if you can imagine, and let's face it, we've created a lot of these illnesses because of these negative thought patterns, the negative energies, the negative emotions that we've had, the emotional disturbances we've had. We can change them around when we start thinking differently and we start to change it up. Okay, so I remember I had thyroid issues just before I left Rainbow Beach, actually. Was it Gympie, sorry, just before I left Gympie. I had thyroid issues, and I talk about this in the podcast, so I'm not going to go deep into it, but the reality was I used herbal medicines because I knew there was an issue there, and before they did a biopsy, I took herbal medicines and I meditated every day in a healing meditation. And like I said, I'll put it on the podcast because this will go too long otherwise. I'll put it on the podcast about how you do that. But it's a way of getting an understanding, again, of what your intuition is saying and how it is guiding you to help you heal, to change things up. And this shadow and lump or whatever it was they saw on my thyroid, when they went 2 weeks later, when I went back to get a biopsy done, it had gone. And the doctor was really cheesed off because it had gone. And the lady that had done the scan to start with, who I knew was one of my daughter's mums. So I knew her. I went to the same lady, the same machine, the same everything. And she said, what have you done? It's gone. And the doctor was really shitty because he'd come there to do a biopsy and there was nothing there to do a biopsy on. And I actually felt sorry for the lady because it was like, it was almost like her fault. But it was there. And she said, look, it's there. You can see it. You can see where it was, but there was nothing there after it. And this is all about how we can do our own healing, okay? And that's where I see this beautiful big flower in there. This is going to be your main area of understanding. This is your mindset. This is really getting your spirituality and everything organized there. These may be physical aspects because they definitely are, as far as chakras go, they're further down the chakra line. And so they're more about your physical aspects, but this is the big, bright, shiny one in the middle, okay? And this is what we need to look at. But in general, when I look at that, I sort of go, okay, whatever it is, it's got a really positive outcome. And there's so much learning there for you to do. You're going to nail this, absolutely nail it. All right, that is your reading. I didn't go into each of the individual flowers. I think you took a picture of the colours, so you've got an understanding of the colours. You'd be able to go through that. But I really would like you to really sit with it and get an understanding of exactly what you feel these ones are, and where you want to go with them, because that's going to make it easy for you to narrow it down a little bit more. All right, makes it easier. So you're getting conflicting advice here. You know, it's going to give you a bit more of an understanding of what that's all about and where they meet in the middle. You know, they may be saying, do this, do this, do this, do this, but where do they meet in the middle? Where's that happy medium? So maybe look at it that way too. All right, that's me. Otherwise, I just keep on talking. You know I do. Move that back over there. Okay, so I will take that one off. I hope that has helped. Okay, look at my poor flowers. Look, oh dear, they smell so beautiful, but they are so uplifting. A bunch of flowers is so uplifting. I remember actually somebody gave me a plant, flowering azaleas, when my first daughter was born. She bought these azaleas that were in flower, and I can remember thinking, oh, how gorgeous. And I planted them at the front of the house, and every birthday, of course, they flowered. It was really lovely. But yeah, you've got to keep the flower industry going. We love them. All right, that's me. Jump on to Intuitive Personal Development. That's where I'll have this. I'll put it over on YouTube as well. If you're interested in doing a workshop or holding your own private workshop, I do private workshops as well, contact me. You can jump on the website. If the website's going, I've had a few issues with that. But it's almost like everything was coming together so nicely. It's like, no, slow down. So the website played up. The online courses played up. We got the painters into the house. We've got everything happening. It was like, oh, okay, time to slow down. All right, and on the Intuitive Personal Development Facebook group, I'm also doing the live readings on Tuesday. So I'm trying to work out how I can get you guys to interact with me on these live readings. I'm not 100% sure yet how that's going to turn out, but at the moment we're every Tuesday morning we're setting our intentions. Okay, we're setting our intentions for the week. And I do it on a Tuesday morning because Mondays are crazy, getting everybody back to school, back to work, back to everything else. Tuesdays, it's like, now I can sort of think about where I'm going for the week. So I do it on Tuesday mornings. All right, that's me. I'm going to say bye for now. Have a great week, and let me know how you go. Feedback is, I love feedback, please. All right, guys, I'll be at Rainbow Beach again over the school holidays for Intuitive Trees, which is your purpose in life, and we'll do flowers again, which are your goals in life. Okay, I say bye for now. Bye-bye.